Hello, soul friends. Last week I had a great conversation with a dear friend of mine. And what I told him is I said, you know what I admire about you is I admire that there is not a hint of victimhood in you. His industry, like so many other industries, are severely impacted right now. But there's no victimhood in him. He holds his head high and he creates opportunity wherever he goes. And he asks for what he wants, unabashed, unashamed. And I just said, I admire that about you. And it really has put a little spark in me to A, not be afraid to ask for what I want, and to B, realize that we have such a wonderful ability to take the energy around us, shape it, form it, and even turn it into dreams, ideas, even things that we need. So I want to do a little meditation with you. A lot of us probably have some shattered dreams right now. Perhaps you lost your job, or your business is suffering or may have closed permanently. Something that you were working really hard on and you can't do right now. That's tough, that's painful. And sometimes rather than processing that grief, working through it, we kind of numb it or avoid dealing with it, but it's still there kind of holding us back because we've not allowed it and processed it. So I want to do this meditation to help uplift you and to help you take some of that energy of the shattered dreams and turn it into what your soul is calling you to do with it. So for this meditation, if you are an essential oil user, I want to give you some options. I'm going to be working with an oil blend called Live Your Passion. There's another blend that's called Build Your Dream that is perfect for this meditation. If you don't have either of those, I just want to encourage you grab an uplifting citrusy type essential oil like bergamot, tangerine, lemon, or orange. And once you have your essential oil, I want you to go ahead and place a drop of it onto your heart and just rub it in generously, lovingly into your heart. Then put a little more on the palm of your hand. We're going to make a scent tent and take a few deep breaths. So rub those palms together, open them up a little bit, bring them over your nose. Leave a little gap at the bottom so it's easy to breathe in and out. Take a deep breath in of this essential oil. Whether you're using it or not, even your breath is powerful. Bring it into every cell in the body. Exhale through the mouth to release tension from the body. Breathe it into your emotions, wherever they are, physically and non-physically. Exhale through the mouth to release excess emotional energy. Take another deep breath into that energy field that surrounds you, uplifting, and as you exhale, clear out any stuck energy or disappointment in your energy field. When your arms get tired, bring them to your sides, but leave your eyes closed. I want you to take a moment to let your soul bring to your awareness any dreams or hopes that were shattered, especially recently. Anything that you worked hard on that fell apart, a job that you had that was taken away, a business that you had built that is suffering or closed. And I want you to feel that, allow that feeling of grief and disappointment. Knowing that when we put the essential oil on our heart, it helps us to work through, face, and heal from grief. Take a breath into that grief and notice wherever you feel grief or loss in your physical body. And then with your breath, consciously focus on sending that breath, that fresh energy to that place in the body. Beautiful. And I want you to imagine the pieces of your shattered dream or your goal or career, whatever it happened to be. Imagine that as shattered pieces on the ground in front of you. Like if someone dropped a big rock and it broke into smaller pieces, crumbles. I'd like you to imagine that you bend down to the ground and you start to with your hands, bring those pieces closer together, almost like you're sweeping them all together with your hands. Some pieces are big, some are tiny like dust. And just gather them all up into a small, contained pile. And I want you to imagine that off to the side of your hand is a hammer. This might sound a little crazy, but I want you to imagine that you take that hammer and break up those larger pieces. Let them crumble completely. Just keep breaking the bigger pieces into dust until you've hammered and hammered and hammered, and all that is left is dust. Now, I want you to recognize, in the days of old, many cultures built their homes out of dust, dirt, earth. They combined earth materials with water, formed them into mud or bricks or plaster, and they created their homes with that. With the guidance of your soul, how does your soul guide you to take this dust, the energy of your shattered dreams, and repurpose it into what you're meant to do? And in fact, let your soul speak to you. Was your soul wanting you to make a change? Was this in alignment, in accordance with your soul's plan, even if it was difficult and scary and painful and frustrating? Was this shattering of an old dream, an old way of living, actually intended by your soul to be one of the greatest gifts you ever received? Breathe into that. And you still have the energy of that shattered dream. You still have this dust pile in front of you. Take the next few silent breaths to feel, what is your soul saying? Do with this dust pile, these shattered dreams, today. And then how are you guided to continue to shape that in subsequent days, weeks, months, years? Breathe into this just for a moment. Just for a moment, allow your soul to paint a picture in your mind's eye, or give you a sentence or phrase to help you see what, for lack of a better term, the finished product looks like. In other words, what is your soul dream meant to look like going forward? Not what you were working on in the past, but what your soul is saying, this is what I want you to focus on going forward. Allow a vision to take place or a description to form in your mind. And because we have such a tremendous capacity to work with energy around us, seen and unseen, to shape it and form it into our reality, we often forget that. I'd like you to imagine that as you inhale, you are gathering all the universal energy and resources to you that you need. And as you exhale, I want you to lovingly hold your hands over that pile of dust at the floor beneath you and send that energy into that pile of dust. And see that pile of dust start to transform, take shape, become the new soul goal, the new dream of your soul. Perhaps the direction you were always called to go, but before the changes of this year, you weren't ready or willing to do. Breathe into it. Send this new soul dream love from your heart. And one last thing to ask your soul. What is my very first step to move forward? Take a moment to feel that answer. Whenever you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes. I thank you for joining me in this. In my deepest meditations over the past few years, the message that I keep getting is we're surrounded by energy, we are made of energy, and we have more capacity than we give ourselves credit for to work with this energy, to take it, to manipulate it, not in a bad way, but to form it, shape it, and turn it into these dreams, these goals. We are so much better at it than we realize. Now, 2020 is the year that is calling you to step into your power as a master, creator, and manifester. Have a beautiful day. If I can ever be of service, just shoot me a message.